Okay, I think this is going to be my last recording for the day. It's really time consuming, and I'm surprised at the kind of news that's coming out. It is interesting but disturbing. Um, so let's continue. Still the 9th of May. And let's see here. Here we have collapse of councils. Uneducated municipal councillors can't even read. That's what's happening in South Africa. South Africa is slowly deteriorating. It is no good. People act like it's not the case. The problem is acting some way means absolutely nothing about reality. If the way you act isn't in line with what's happening, you're in big trouble. Actually, it's partially insane. Or delusional, at least. Councils are on the verge of collapse. I mean, like 90% of councils in South Africa has collapsed in any case. They're all bankrupt. Nothing's working. If you go to small towns in South Africa, they all look like Mogadishu. All their roads have totally deteriorated. The water cut off like once, twice, 3 times a week. Electricity cut-offs 1, twice a week. There's just filth lying in the streets and stuff. It is horrible. You're talking about towns that used to look really clean and pretty and neat. I mean, like 30 years ago it looked all pretty clean and neat. Now it's all falling apart and it's horrible and messed up. So they say it's low educational levels of municipal councillors. That's just utter bull. Probably most people in South Africa don't care. The only reason things turn that way is because people do not care. If people care, things will look better. If you go to rich and poor areas in a big city, I mean, not like in South Africa, I mean, you're talking about extremes, but let's go talk like a place like London. You will see in the poor areas there's filth in the street. Chicken bones, just like messed up stuff falling around, papers, nobody's picking up any of the trash, it's just lying there scattered, everything's dirty. But you go to a rich area or a fairly affluent area in London, it's all clean. And that is because the people care. The amount of money the councillors have to go and do their job is exactly the same. The jobs are all exactly the same. The difference is I have seen rich people actually go and pick up trash in their areas because they don't like to see it dirty. Poor people do not care. Rich people care a lot more about their societies. And to this extent it makes sense because they've got a lot more to lose. If you just rent, you don't own anything, you might not care. But still, it doesn't matter. It goes a lot like that. Even with low educational levels, places will look a lot better if people just care. Let that be a lesson. But yeah, let's go talk about the qualifications. The other problem is also in administration municipalities, and 7 full-time appointments, 33 acting appointments had to be withdrawn. So 7 full-time employees and 33 part-time employees had to be pulled from the roster because they do not really have the qualifications to do the job. The problem is they can't give it to the white people that's without the job, because that will just put fat on the fire for the politicians, so that's the way it goes. Talking about this kind of incompetence, my stepdad used to work for the transportation services in South Africa, just like middle management roughly, probably. He was doing his 35 years in the job. And he got one of these packages that they were giving away. He kept on, I think he actually applied for 6 or 7. He got the last one before they stopped it. And he actually had to talk to his manager and beg them to give it to them, and his manager didn't want to. But then his manager felt pity for him and gave it to him. And 2 years later, my stepdad actually bumped into the guy that took over his role. And the guy told him, come over as a consultant, we'll pay you a lot of money, we need you. And my stepdad said, what do you mean you need me, man? Come on. And this dude told him, he said, there is now 7 people doing your job. That is the difference in productivity if people do not care. Um, that should be a wake-up call for South Africa as well. So it's another little tidbit for you. Other way, interesting little video. I think I'm going to do it by myself as well.